Folks, if you have or know or have identified as a sheeple, you are in trouble because you're going to be woken up.
Roach, Coach.
Podcast.
Today, we are talking about 1 Minute Silence. We are talking about their album, By Now, ... Saved Later.
Oh my.
And I got to tell you, Matt, this is a record. This is the second time now that we're doing 1 Minute Silence.
Yeah.
And the last time we did them was many years ago. And I don't know how many years ago, but I want to say a lot of years ago.
I'm going to put a 7 on it.
Matt's going to put a 7 on it. And I know that when we did it before, we enjoyed it. And and you said, Matt, before we started recording, why did we wait so long to do this one? And I think this album was not on streaming for a long time. It is now on streaming. In the meantime, my ass got a physical copy, baby. I got a sweet promo copy. It's got the hole punch in the little barcode here. I don't know how much I paid for it. I don't have any of the labels on it, but I can tell you that this thing is definitely used. This was held. This was put in players. This was played. And then one day they said, you know what? Enough. I've got to sell it out. But I have it now in my hot little hands. And Matt, we'll start with you. You don't have any history with this album.
Nope.
But I believe you said that you are familiar with the album cover.
Yes. Okay. So, number one, for all the fans that are fact checking, It has been 6 years since we've done a 1 Minute Silence record.
Beautiful.
So, over half of the recording career of Roach Coach. The album cover is a woman made of money, literally made of money.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been a used bin staple of my life. This came out in 2000. This was in the used bin, May of 2000 or whatever this came out. April
10th, 2000.
Yeah, April 11th. This was in the used bin. This thing peppered the used bins of my youth.
I definitely recognize this album cover from my time working at Best Buy. I know I saw this on an end cap in the because I worked at Best Buy in the spring of 2000, and so I would stare at these end caps all day, and this definitely was one that I recognized, but I never picked it up because I think at the time I looked at this album cover and I said, this woman who is made of money but also appears to be nude and also appears to have devil horns and also is holding a Bible in one hand and an apple in the other. There's a lot of things going on here that I think, for me, a sweet young boy in the summer of 2000, I was not prepared for what was going on in this album. Having now spent a few weeks with it, I would have been fine.
Right.
I would have been fine. But this was an interesting go. Yeah, so this came out April 10th, 2000. This is the second 1 Minute Silence album. 1 Minute Silence have, to date, 4 studio albums. They had one more after this one that came out in July of 2003, and then they broke up. But as we know, Matt, nu metal,
it's back.
It's back. The boys got the band back together in 2011, and without their original drummer, Eddie Stratton, and have otherwise been keeping it going ever since. Now, if you go into the YouTube comments for this album and some of the songs, people are not aware that they reunited. There is a lot of, what happened? I wish they would come back around. And I'm like, Wikipedia says that they are still active. So unless somebody knows something I don't, I go by Wikipedia. And Wikipedia says still active, still going. This record, genre tags, Matt, rap metal, nu metal.
So excited. Excited since it's been a while since it's been that clean.
Oh, yeah. And what's interesting is that the Wikipedia says, in contrast to the hip-hop metal tinge the first album had, By Now Saved Later has a more traditional guitar metal sound produced by Colin Richardson. I do not agree. This album listen, spoilers, this album is new AF, okay?
Right.
This is what we're talking about. I don't know what this person's saying who wrote. It's one of those things where it's like when you read a review on Pitchfork and it's like a 7, but the review reads like a 5, and you're like, okay, there was a disconnect between who did the number and who wrote the review. And so for this one, the person who did the genre tags, they nailed it. The person who wrote the description, I don't know. We didn't hear the same
Out
album.
to lunch, possibly.
Perhaps out to lunch with a Bible and an apple. I do like the Wikipedia describes this, Matt, as a woman with devil horns, seemingly made of or at least covered with dollar notes, and holding a Bible in her right hand and a bitten apple in the left. Parentheses, a reference to temptation. Thank
You
you,
think?
Wikipedia.
What do you think? You think that you think this is talking about Vice?
Matt, I'm thinking that your options, sin or salvation. That's it.
That's it, baby.
That's it. That's it, baby. This record was 1 Minute Silence's highest charting album, reaching number 61 on the UK albums chart.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Matt, I know you're dying to know who is in this band.
I always am. I
And
gotta know.
You gotta know who's in
Read
this band.
some names for some people that I
All right.
don't know who they
Here's
are.
what's great, Matt, is that okay, I found it here. I was worried that there wasn't actual labeling. I want to say the liner notes to this album. We've been waiting for some real good liner notes. 1 Minute Silence truly delivered. But first, who's in this band?
Who?
Brian Yap Berry on vocals,
The Yapper.
Glenn Diani on bass,
The Dianion.
Massimo Fiocco on guitar,
Bella.
and Eddie Stratton on drums.
Ooh, Eddie.
Now, the album cover art is credited to Yap, and there are really good thank yous, but there is, to start, I guess a manifesto, I guess a statement.
Thank God. I look forward to manifestos.
Here we go. To sleep soundly is to know your place. Oppression today comes with a smile. For me to move you, I have to move. But your not moving moves me. I believe the children are our future is just passing the buck. If somehow, someday, man learns how to control and sell the air we breathe, the poor had better learn to hold their breath. One's conscience cannot take second place to one's mortgage. Compassion does have an expiry date. Equality would bring untold wealth to everyone at the cost of only 2 words: rich and poor. I saw this before. He's not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong. But I saw this and I said, this album is going to flip a GD lid. But that's how you start.
Hold on to your ass.
Now, in the acknowledgements, we have OMS, as they're called, acknowledgements. Then we have separate band member thank yous. There are gems in all these hills, ladies and gentlemen. To start, they have to thank the following bands and their crews: Breed 77, Clawfinger, Deftones, Incubus, Far, Fu Manchu, Seven Dust, Godsmack, Anthrax, Sepultura, parenthesis, Soccer Scores, 1 Minute Silence 12, Sepultura 2. Whoo!
Woo!
1 Minute Silence says, you can't handle this
You
football,
can't handle
baby.
these. We're good footballers.
You can't handle the footy, Sepultura. Spine Shank, Biohazard, Kill to This, Stuck Mojo, Liberty 37, Polkas, Stampin' Ground, Medulla Nocte, Skindred, Machine Head, Earthtone 9, Stimulator, Flight 16, Cyclefly, Pitch Shifter, Ignite, Less Than Jake, Pie Tasters, and all at the Vans Warp Tour.
Wow.
Great. They do a long thank yous of various people, some nicknames, what have you. At the end, they do enough respect and big up to Ali G and Ting in it. And of course, Bill Hicks for the inspiration.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yes.
That is the most 2000 thing
Listen,
I've heard in a while.
If you're a band and you have things to say about Sheeple, you have things to say about Waking Up, if you don't thank Bill Hicks, he comes back to life and he kills you. Okay? You have to do it. You have to do it. I mean, do I often read a book and think, what you're reading for? Yes. Yes, I do. All right. Here we go. Eddie, big bunch of thank yous. Thanks his girlfriend Lorraine, his family, his mom. Standard stuff.
Okay.
Tail end. Thanks all these things. Thanks for all the support. Glenn, Massey, and Yap. These are his band members. Bullocks off to the 3 of you because you twats live with it. And to the rest of you, may your hair succeed. Okay.
Wow.
Interesting there. But I love that there. He's like giving some shit to his boys. All right. Glenn thanks his mom and dad. He says, I don't tell you often enough, but I love you. Ooh, sweet
Ooh,
start. Strong
sweet
start.
start.
Very nice. Thanks people that he's learned from, people that have made the journey possible. Really nice. And, at the end, he's like, I want to thank Robert Balbin and most importantly, Lionel Danny. P.S. Oh, yeah. And those 3 other lads who play in the band. I can't remember their names at the moment, though. Wap, Fred, Jassy. Fuck them. Gotta tell
Wait a
you.
minute. Wait a minute. I mean, it does take a little bit of an irritant to make a pearl, so maybe this ribbing.
This friction is what makes the 1 minute silence train move. Massey. The most important people in my life, the greatest mom in the world, my sister, my brother, the best man in the world, Ronald Best, all my friends, Yap, Eddie, and Glenn. And you're the gammy ones. I don't know what that means. Write in. Let me know. Is that something? And then at the end, he says, sorry to anyone I have forgotten, but you know me. I'm a fucking idiot. Fantastic. Now, after this run up, I'm like, what are we going to get from the man known as Yap? No religion, no flag, no fear. No one does a thank you like Yap.
Yeah.
He says, my respect and love to the Barry clan. He names a bunch of people. And then he says, thanks to everyone out there who has supported me. If you have supported me, I'll read that again so you catch that. Thank you to everyone who has supported me. If you have supported me.
Look, I know some of you motherfuckers think you've been supporting me, but I've been listening to them streets and you straight shit talking. So no. You think you've been supporting me, but you ain't been supporting me at all.
You ain't been supporting shit. Everyone, someone's sitting there going, I've been supporting Yap. I'm a day one Yap.
I'm a day one yapper.
Absolutely. And then you see that and you go, have I? You gotta go stare in the mirror after you get called out with something like that. He follows that up with, ants need to be loved. You don't have to say anything, Dan. I want to personally dedicate this album to the only king I know, my dad, Joe. Okay. Nice ending. But also, I love that. You don't have to say anything, Dan. Dan! Jesus.
On notice.
Then, recommended reading. That's right. We got a reading list tucked in here. Mumia Abu-Jamal, Howard Zinn, Edward S. Herman, Michael Parenti, John Pilger, William Blum, George Orwell, Noam Chomsky, John Vidal, John Stockwell, Michael Moore, Edward Said, Vance Packard, Leo Tolstoy, Henry David Thoreau, Ward Churchill, William Greider, Dalton Trumbo, Eric Maria Remarque, Daniel Guerin, Emma Goldman, Helen Prigine, Gore Vidal, Anthony Precanis, and Elliot Aronson. I got to tell you, I saw this and I was like, this all makes sense. I know about half of these and I know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's a real who's who of, oh, can we please stop talking about this? We're at a party.
Exactly this type of authors. But for once, I love one where it's like recommended reading. And it's literally like,
here's my list.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know why, but it'd be really funny if it was like recommended reading, Stephen King, Dean Koontz, R.L. Stein, the Fear Street series, the lady who wrote the Hunger Games. Like just the most basic shit.
Recommended reading, Dr. Seuss. The end.
That's
Dr. Seuss, the guy who wrote The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Eric Carle, I believe. We'll never know.
We'll never know. We're not looking it up. I mean, I really thought that was an amazing list. But then we're not done. And for anyone we have forgotten, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Your name is there somewhere. Here's a bit of punctuation in case you need that too, comma, quotation mark, forward slash, asterisk, exclamation point, question mark.
Wow. Wow,
Uh,
wow, 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 wow.
and then, because they just got shit hidden in here, Matt, Glenn uses Warwick basses and amplification. Eddie uses Tama drums and Meanie cymbals. Sorry, and Meanie cymbal. Oh, I'm sorry. Eddie uses Tama drums and Meinl cymbals. Massey has to pay for all his own shit because he is lonely. Massey has put himself on blast that he is a fucking idiot. And the rest of the
More
band,
proof.
the rest of the band is giving it to him. Finally, this album is dedicated to the memory of Neville Anthony Lynch, 1965 to 1999.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. We have a picture of the band on the back. We got some short dreads. We got some slightly longer dreads. We've got a shaved head, and we have some standard long hair.
Looking at this picture, you go, can you believe these guys are British?
I 100% can. Now, I want to say Yap loses these little braids very quickly because I watched the music videos and he switched over to a close crop bleach blonde look, which I think was the move. I think he was doing this when they were recorded, was in the zone, and then he took the pictures. They got the CD. They said it comes out next week, and he went, "Well, mates, heading to the barber. Is that what they're called?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've all seen Sweeney Todd, the demon lumber. Demon
Exactly.
lumber?
He does demon lumber?
Oh, God.
Oh,
See
my
you later,
goodness.
guys.
Matt. Oh, my goodness.
It's Matt's last episode.
Oh, boy. Well, either way, he went to the Demon Barber of Seville and he got a bleach blonde cut. He said, "Give me the David Silvera." And that's the move. That was the move. I think that
Good
was
move.
smart. Good move.
Right move.
Yes, as we mentioned, this was produced by Colin Richardson. According to Wikipedia, he has worked on over 100 albums and is most frequently associated with heavy metal and its subgenres. Records he's worked on: Demanufactured by Fear Factory.
There it is.
He worked on, let's see here, a lot of the bands that were mentioned: Polkas, Liberty 37. He's worked on all those. The same year that he did this record, he also worked on Cannibal Corpse's live cannibalism record. He did the mixing on that. He did mixing for Machine Head Supercharger. He was an engineer on Godflesh's Hymns. 5.0 Untitled, he was the producer. Sepultura's Under a Pale Gray Sky mixing. He did mixing for Slipknot Disaster Pieces. He's been around. He's done a lot. He's mixing. He's doing all sorts of stuff. And he knows about the scene. He produced Machine Head's The Blackening. So yeah, this guy knows what he's doing.
He's been around the boards.
He's been around the boards. He knows the buttons to push both on the boards and on you. Okay? He knows what to do. Matt, I think it's time to just dive into this record.
I do too.
Let's kick it off with the first song called Rise and Shine. All right.
My God, it's good to see you. My God, it's good to see you. My God, it's good to see you. Another day, another dollar.
Matt, if you don't like Rage Against the Machine, you're not going to like this album because this is, I would say, we talk a lot about, steal from the best.
Right.
And we also talk about how, Chino invest in a Ring camera. Jonathan Davis, check under the floorboards. There may be someone under the house. I got to say, listening to this album, that if you told me that Tom Morello came home and the only thing left in his house was two toothbrushes and a roll of film, I'd be like, yep, sounds about right. They took everything. They took everything. Whole cloth. And honestly, just from the first Rage Against the Machine album. I don't think they touched the other ones. They were like, first one's all we need. First one's all we need, which I'm fine with. I also enjoy that record. But it's funny to hear this and then think about some other bands that we've done on the show in the past, like Full Scale, definitely also pulling from this sound. And I'll just talk about this lyric. Another day, another dollar, another kill for the corporate collar. Why I wake and why I bother. So these boys are going in. I initially thought this was a hot open, but I changed it. This is what we call a passionate open. We get a lot of passion here as we're seeing what's going on here. Because also he's saying, once again, this is another one, a very literal wake up sheeple song. Rise and shine, sheeple. Go work for the man. Get them paid.
If you think you're doing something good, you're doing something bad.
That's right. Yeah, man.
You think you're feeding your family? You're only feeding the corporate pigs.
You're just feeding the machine. Put your body into the gears if you really want to feed it.
Another day, another dollar.
Listen, if you're saying, Lauren, Matt, I don't know how much of this I can take. Well, then turn this off right now because this is a whole fucking
This is a
album.
whole album. We got 13 more of these motherfuckers coming your way.
That's right. That's right. Now, I was shocked, Matt, to see that there were not a ton of song meanings comments.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. Again, April 11th.
April 11th.
On the used bin shelf.
On the used bin shelf. All right. But I knew I could depend on my good friends over at sonichits.com.
Oh,
and
the YouTube aggregator?
Matt, I know you knew you were going to bring up that it is just aggregating comments from YouTube, but I've got to listen, another day, another dollar. Let's throw a couple to sonichits.com, okay?
All right, buddy.
Let's just keep the lights on over there. So we have this comment here from Living in Lightning. This comment's from 3 weeks ago. They said, man, with the resurgence of new metal in this modern era, imagine if 1 Minute Silence released this. People would lose their minds. A sound that will never not be fresh and unique. Seriously underrated band.
Maybe.
Remember seeing them support Slipknot at the OG Docklands London show. Blown away. Comeback wanted, comeback needed. As the Wikipedia says, they are apparently still a touring entity. Let this person know as of 3 weeks ago. Matt, you seem to be pushing up against this idea that this song would crack the world open if released today.
Yeah, very much so. This is not going to do it. I can tell you that right now. No, this is bad. This is not great. I mean, no, right? This is very down the middle. I don't hate it. Let me say that out loud. But also, I mean, it's like getting hit with a wet noodle. It is not. I don't feel rocked to my core. Mm-hmm. Also, it sounds fucking thin. This does not have a girthy punch. It just kind of sounds like, hey, it's another day, another dollar. We're doing great, right?
You want more heat.
Need more heat.
That needs more heat. Now, you're going to love this comment from Godlike Official. One of the best songs ever written.
Holy shit. Listen to more music.
Amazing job with lyrics, and the sound of this album was pure magic. Never heard a better mix of bass guitar and drums on any album. My God, it's good to see ya back. Then Rachel Smith FJ7ZF commented and says, I cannot help but think if they had a better vocalist who wasn't so volatile, they wouldn't have had so many problems. All right. So that sounds like someone's mother went in there and said, if he didn't yell so much, maybe they would have done a little better. But Matt, I know you want to go back to Godlike Official's take that this is one of the best songs ever written. Never heard a better mix of bass guitar and drums. Also, this person, you know what? This person might write for ultimateguitar.com because I don't know if you caught this. Amazing job with lyrics, and the sound of this album was pure magic. That sounds like a 10 out of 10 lyrics, 10 out of 10 music rating. And it sounds to me like they're committing to give it an overall 10.
Wild.
Unbelievable. They're going to wake up tomorrow and go, what the fuck did I do? And this one is a really good one. This one's from Slim SOJ. They said, I can't help but feel that 1 Minute Silence is my genre. Not new metal, not rapcore. 1 Minute Silence is my tune. There's never been a band quite like them. Never seen this before.
Wow.
This person's saying this genre,
It's
Is-
just for me.
it's me. It's
This is
me.
me core.
Me core. This is great. Because listen, we all know people who you hear a song and you're like, this is such a Matt song. You know, this
That is
Matt
true.
core.
Yeah.
You know, people hear things, I remember one time I said to Rachel, I was like, let me play you something. And I put it on. She's like, of course you fucking like this. And I was like, yep, I'm pegged. And yeah, this guy, he was real, recognized real. He saw himself. He's like, this is me. He's like, you know what he's saying? This shouldn't be played for anyone else. This is
No,
just for me.
This is for daddy.
It's just for dad. Exactly. There is a Rise and Shine music video. It's hosted on the official 1 Minute Silence YouTube page. It is not well preserved. This thing is pixely AF. From what I could make out, is the band performing in an underground man-made cavern, lots of stone, strobe lights, but also low lights. Some shots of the lead singer in what looks like a prison cell, some electrical effects on the band members' arms and body. There's some other like skull effects going on, lots of into the camera mugging. It felt like yes. Oh, Matt. Okay, if you're watching the YouTube, you saw Matt just do some mugging there. Yes, tons of that. And it really felt like somebody said, we gotta stretch this dollar. Okay. We don't have a lot to work with here, boys. We gotta stretch it. I'm gonna need you to mug the shit out of this camera. Go at this camera, get all in it. It was okay video. It was fine. All right, Matt. We've set a tone. Now is the time to talk about the next song, 1845. Matt, I'm surprised you didn't activate the pit on that one. They're going in.
They're definitely going in. I was thinking about it, but then it was just too late.
It was too late.
But but the pit would have been activated. I do think so. Yes.
All right. So late. Besides the pit being activated, Matt, how'd you feel about it? 1845.
Well, I want to like it more than I do. I like the 1845. I like that we're yelling, but the repetition in the lyrics is a little. It's one of the main reasons I don't like that first Rage Against the Machine record so much, is because it's just like, someone give me a sandwich. Can someone give me a sandwich? And then it's like 4 bars later, they're still talking about the sandwich. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't feel like it pays off in the same way that Rage does. And then all of a sudden he kind of hits me with some Serge goofiness, like the way we live, the way we die. Like that is also a little like, okay, who are these guys? And then 1845, are these boys talking about history? Are they talking about EU history? We're talking UK history. We're talking about potato famine. What are we talking about?
Matt, thankfully songmeanings.com came together for us for this one to answer this question. Commenter Nair on April 9th, 2002 at 11:16 in the evening posted this quote. 1845 is the date the Irish Holocaust set in proper. The British government had impoverished the nation of Ireland, which they had occupied for hundreds of years. They gradually made the majority of people dependent on the potato through economic disparity. And then when the potato blight struck in 1845, the British economists went into overdrive with their murderous idiocies. They insisted that Ireland keep exporting right through the famine, with the result that between 1 and 2 million Irish people died. This was genocide. Yap is making the point that all peoples of the world have suffered oppression, no matter whether black, white, red, or yellow. Okay. Nobody has a monopoly of prejudice. Indeed, philanthropy and tyranny are available in all colors, hence the title of the album, which leads us to the conclusion that the only war we should fight is the war against economic inequality, class war. That's from Eddie Stratton, according to Nair. Now, Jester Pfizer responded to this on July 13th, 2002 at 1:32 in the morning. This motherfucker been up. Indeed, that's some nice copying and pasting going on there, winky space emoji. But seriously, OMS are far and away the best British metal band. I love that he gave him shit for copying and pasting. Good job copying and pasting. See, you know how to right click. See, it's taking you far. You son of a bitch. At least we're in
All
agreement.
he's saying is, you beat me to it because I had this. This is in my cache.
He was
right
ready.
now, ready to paste.
He showed up at 1:32 in the morning, ready to post, baby, and he saw it was already there.
Pissed him off.
He's so mad, so mad. Nice job with the copy and paste. Oh, I'm not upset.
I'm not upset about it.
I ain't pissed.
1 minute silence is great, though. We all can agree on this.
We can agree. Then let's see. We had a comment from Huge.
She's got a huge ass.
Who said technically they're not British, sticking out tongue emoji, but they do rock, and I love this song. From what I can tell, based on the Wikipedia, is that lead singer Yap is Irish, but their original guitarist Chris Ignacio was from London. And then they also had a gentleman, Glenn Diani, on bass guitar, who was a Gibraltarian, and then Eddie Stratton was an Englishman. I don't know what this means. I know that there is, listen, friend of the show, Ashley Woolsey, tried to teach me UK geography in the back of an Uber, and I was nodding and going, okay, sure, okay. And the moment we got out, I had forgotten it all. But she did her best, okay? She was just like, this is what's in the United Kingdom. She knows it. She goes there often. And, she tried. But I just, it all went away. We have one other comment here. It's from Death to Pop. It was posted on April 9th, 2003. This is like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody has a monopoly of prejudice. Indeed, philanthropy and tyranny are available in all colors. This song isn't on the album Available in Colors. It's on Buy Now, Save Later. They're also one of the best live bands too. The Pit Crew are awesome. I love this. This person was like, I've got a perfect little play on words I'm going to do because it's not available in all colors. Not the album this is from.
Gotcha.
But still, this is, I got to tell you, this is a somebody going, that's a got him. And then they kept looking behind them like, right?
I got him.
I got him. Did I get him? I'm going to give you, this is I got him on technicality. All right. This one is up for debate. All right. They're currently watching the got him replay. And they, the refs have not made a call yet.
The refs got the cowl over them so they can see the screen.
Yeah. They're like,
upon review of the play,
we are calling this.
I got
him.
5 yards, first down.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is one more commenter. It's Razor Masticator. Incredible name.
Great.
This is from April 13th, 2004, 10 o'clock in the morning. I was mildly impressed by 1 Minute Silence.
Wow.
But they have some good songs, but a lot of filler. This is one of the better songs, but I prefer the AIAC album because it was heavier and the guitar had so much crunch. If your name is Razor Masticator, you definitely living for that crunch. All right? You living for that crunch. Living for that crunch. His favorite captain? Captain Crunch. All right, Matt.
Let's do it.
It's Holy Man.
Wow.
Matt, we got some field recordings.
This is how we beat Sepultura at football.
Yeah.
You hit me with the lyrics to that.
Oh, Matt.
Chorus?
The chorus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will go to the chorus. Let me see here. Sorry. I had a different part pulled up here. The chorus to the song, My Way Wrong and Yours Right.
Oh, my way wrong. That's what he's screaming. My way wrong and yours right.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Matt.
I fucking hate this song. This song
Oh,
sucks so
Matt,
bad. This
Matt,
is a terrible song.
Matt, is it because you are straight up in Tooltown? Like the train has stopped fully in Tooltown and you've been told you have to get off and start a family here?
Right. But
Yeah.
then when I walk by the Tool Town sign,
Mhm.
the T falls off and it says Fool Town. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh my gosh. This is a hard pass for me. Hard pass. Let me tell you some recommended reading.
Oh, yeah.
Howard Zinn,
Okay.
and then Machiavelli,
Sure.
and
Mhm.
Sun Tzu,
Sure.
and
Mhm.
and other Asimov, great.
Okay. Yep. Sounds like a summer reading program, Matt, but okay.
Melville, and Dr. Seuss, and Eric
Dr.
Carl.
Susie's back.
I hate this. Oh boy, that is so not for me. I don't know, man. Like, I don't listen to this and go like, for the resistance. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I just go, oh no. No, don't.
So, Matt, as you may have noticed, this is an anti-religion song.
And I
Organized
don't not
religion.
like it because of that. I can listen to anti-religion songs and be fine.
Yeah.
So this is not, oh, he's making fun of my Jesus? Oh, God, my pearls. Like, it is fucking not that at all.
Mm.
It is, this is just a shitty fucking song. I don't like it. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I wrote down the lyric. I could be wrong here. I could be right. I could be the son of God selling you a little life, but you wouldn't see me. You wouldn't hear me. Why you and not me? Tell me, holy man. I got to tell you, Matt, I enjoyed this song quite a bit. I wrote in my notes that I thought it ripped because I can tell you that when I saw it was called Holy Man, I said, I hope they go in. And they go in. They go in so hard. And there's no I was listening to a podcast recently and they were like, self-awareness was different back in the day. And it really was that you could go and say, guys, 1 minute silence, band meeting. I have a new song concept. I got a title right now. It's Holy Man. Already sounds like a winner. Can't wait. You can go in on some Holy Men. I'm gonna go in on the
On all of
hypocrisy.
them. Hold on to your
Oh,
ass if you're a
oh,
holy man.
yeah, exactly. So for me, I was like, I hope that it's, here's another lyric. You want me to bow down, lie down, accept it, and die. Say what, say what, say what, say why? Yes. Love this. I enjoyed this very much. I also enjoy Tool. This is also ripping off early Tool. So, which I think we can all agree in the long run is the best Tool.
Best
So,
tool, easily.
yeah. Now, there was a music video for this song. When I saw there's a music video and it's called Holy Man, I had high hopes. But listen, we're all trying to stretch $1 here. And no one's stretching $1 more than the guys.
1 minute silence.
1 minute silence. Who honestly, maybe they had to stretch $1 because they covered this woman in the budget. This
True.
woman might be covered in the money.
She left the building with all that money on it. They didn't get
they-
it back.
They were like, hey, sit here for a second. And she was like, no problem. And then she walked right out of the building. And here's the thing. She had no trouble getting a ride. She was a naked lady covered in money.
With apples.
With apples, food, and a Bible. Something to read, something to eat. And, she's good for dinner. She can cover it. She's covered in the money. Anyway. So the music video is the band performing in what is either a crumbling house or warehouse. You can see fire in the background. The band is rocking. As I mentioned, Yap now has short bleach blonde hair. We have the guitar player with some dreads. It's all shot with a green filter. At some point, there is shots of Yap all greased up in like black grease, sort of doing a writhe around that gave me vague Scott Weiland vibes. But no Holy Man. I was hoping I was going to get some sort of like, listen, give me a shot of some over dramatic old guy on a pulpit making wild gestures.
Catholic collar.
Yeah, I don't even need a fanatical congregation. Just give me the shot of the wild holy man. That's all I need. You know what? Give him a couple fake snakes to hold in his hand. Okay, make him one of those.
You're making him kind of
make him one of those guys. I'm saying get a little wild, but like I said, it's clear that they decided they were going to spend the money on the filter and on the fire in the background. And listen, I'm not in a band, but I'm familiar with the love of pyro. And sometimes you cannot ignore the pyro. I feel though that when they went into the edit bay, they went, not a lot of fire. This fire seemed bigger when we were there. Yeah. So okay video at best. Also, for some reason, on the 1 minute silence official page, pixely as fuck. So
Of course.
yeah, there were no comments anywhere on that song because everybody was like, we got it.
No notes.
No, a true no notes situation. Up next, we have It's Just a Ride.
When you embroider your influences on your sleeve. No.
Matt, if they're ruling by force or ruling by words, they're gonna reel them suckers in, baby. Because it's just a ride.
Reel them in.
It's just a ride, Matt. It's just a ride. There's no, you don't worry about it. Just cast that ballot every 4 years, and do not worry, baby. That status gonna quo. Unless you wake up. Psst.
Yeah.
Wake up.
Wake up, you fucking sheeple.
I gotta say, on my second listen of this album, which I did on a walk, I did a Christ Scout challenge on this album. And my first listen was, as I like to do nowadays, a dinner listen. Put the CD on, listen to it with dinner. I have to say that it felt a little long on the dinner listen. It kind of was like 14 tracks. I'm feeling it. On a walk, and you're just moving, you're going. I went on a new different path. I was walking through a cemetery. People had recommended, they said it's a nice change of pace, and indeed it was. Also less car noise, which was also nice instead of walking by the road. Anyway, a little bit info about my walks. And these songs would come on and I'd be like, oh, okay, like good cardio, I'm moving, I'm going. But content wise, I was like, oh, I got it, I'm all set. Like I can't believe this is every song. Like every song is about like, yeah, I got it. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is the same as the previous song, like content wise. And so I was, it's just more of just like, when's he gonna yell? When's he gonna yell?
Mm-hmm.
When's that gonna happen? Yeah. So once again, if you are a sheeple, please wake up. Sincerely, 1 minute silence. Matt, anything else for us?
I was just revisiting Bill Hicks's It's Just a Ride,
Mm-hmm.
which, I mean, is a very good piece of culture. If you've never heard it before, I highly suggest that you listen to it. And then wake the fuck up, sheeple.
Wake up.
But don't let them know that I told you because I don't want to die. Yeah, man. It is like, sure. But like, if it comes down to taste, like, this is not how I want my resistance. This is unmoving. And if I heard this and people were like, yeah, now we get it, I'd be like, well, good for you. I get if that's the unlock for you. Far be it from me to take that away from you, but
right.
Mind if I go over here for a little bit? Again, I'm just at a party with a guy who wants to tell me, like, this is an actual conversation I had in 1993.
Okay.
Virtual reality, man. They put the headset on you, the goggles, and you're going to fucking kill yourself because you're not going to know how real things are. Okay. Okay. How much longer do I have to be at this dance with you?
I love the idea that somebody in 1993, which means this person watched Lawnmower Man and went,
Correct.
Whoa!
The government already has it, and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
I think I can tell the difference between fucking weird-ass polygons and real people. Now, maybe. Now with AI and all that shit, maybe more, but definitely not in 1993. You jump out of a plane, you think it's real, your heart explodes. I mean, like, oh, okay. Sure. Again, this girl asked me to this dance, and we're at dinner because you're her friend's date. I don't know. I've been in a lot of awkward situations.
Matt, listen, the group dinner always fraught. Okay. It people think like we're gonna get all the friends together, but it's like, are we friends? Or are these people who are friends with someone and now the assumption is that we will all be friends? Because let me tell you, it can go wrong in a lot of ways.
A lot of ways.
You can go in the one direction where it's like you have friction. You have friction with the person, you don't like them anymore. Okay. Or you don't like them at all. Like you're off and you have to sit next to them for an hour. Then there's the other one, which is you go and it's you and your date and your buddy and their date. And then you and your buddy are like, remember this shit? Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah. And then your dates are like, I'm gonna kill these two motherfuckers.
Hate these guys.
I hate these guys. These guys are the worst. That's another thing that can happen. So ultimately, you should just go on a one-on-one date. Okay.
That's
Anybody
it.
listen, double dates, just double trouble. All right. You don't need that shit. Okay. Listen, no, don't do it. We're gonna meet at the restaurant.
And
worst thing
don't
anyone can
put
say.
on a virtual reality helmet.
No. If
I
you
beg you in 1993,
if you
don't
put
do
on-
it.
Matt, if you put a virtual reality helmet on and then you see a toilet in virtual reality, you shit your pants.
You shit your pants.
You shit
And
your
when
pants.
the train's coming,
Mhm.
it's gonna come through the screen. You're
Right.
done.
Right. Listen, I got 3 authors for you: Bret Easton Ellis, Chuck Palahniuk, Dr. Seuss. Okay, check them out.
World changers.
Changers. All right.
Take your
Matt.
paradigm and shift it.
Just a little. All right, Matt. It's food for the brain.
Fucking. If you tell me you have 72 pages of notes for this song, I'm gonna fucking die because I got nothing to say except next.
All right,
Holy shit!
Matt.
What is happening?
Matt, I got some great lyrics for you. Reality is a fist fuck. A kiss first, a rat infested ride. Last laugh on the last laugh. Who laughs last before the well runs dry? Take a look at the real world, waking up to the rat race, the fast pace, consumer friendly smiles. Here's what I wrote in my notes. If you are a sheeple, this album is for you. If you are not a sheeple, this will get old so fast. But I honestly thought it rocked. It moves. It's bringing heat. I mean, once again, I think my enjoyment of Rage Against the Machine and hearing someone else, this album is, we always talk about the Boss Baby tweet. This is like the Boss Baby tweet, but if you've only heard Bomb Track. And you're like, what if I make every song like Bomb Track?
Yeah.
Like every song sounds like Bomb Track, right? So that's the only song I can make. Yeah, incredible work. I enjoyed this a lot. There is also some beeps and boops at 220, just to let you know that electronica is still existing in the late 90s, early 2000s. Over on SonicHits.com,
Sonic Hits.
Trollfinger posted this on 15 years ago. They said, I smoked pot with their bass player for about 2 hours after a show. Real easy guys to talk to. Okay, I like this anecdote. You know, and also, I believe it. I smoked with the bass player. I assume the bass player would definitely be down to smoke with you. And I definitely agree that if you're smoking a joint with a member of Women in Silence, yeah, they're going to be easy to talk to because they're going to be recommending things to read. They're going to be taunting to talk to you about stuff. Absolutely. So, Big Matt 2896 responds.
That's me.
That's you, Matt. This is Matt. Big Matt 2896. He responds to this 15-year-old comment.
Sounds like me.
And says, drugs equal loser.
That absolutely sounds like me. 99, Matt? Hell yeah.
Drug equals loser. I love that. I love that. That's what you take. This person scrolling under a 1-minute silence music video clip or whatever on YouTube.
Drugs equal loser.
Oh, you hung out with 1 minute silence and you smoked a joint with them? Sounds like it was just a loser meeting. Meeting of the loser committee. Member being you.
Members you in that basis.
Basis. Then once again, though, this genre thing coming up again. St. Stolson, so Saint Stolson, said 1 minute silence can't be compared to anything except 1 minute silence.
That's how it works.
But White Knucklin responded and said, "You're right, man. OMS is unlike any other, but I always kind of explain them to people like a Rage Against the British Machine or some shit like that. They need to make more jams for my ear hole." I love it. White Knucklin, never stop.
You did it.
You did it. And Recoil 86 UKCM said, "I can't believe people are trying to say 1 minute silence and Rage Against the Machine are not unique. What are they, hipster douchebags?"
What are they?
What are they? What are they?
Yeah,
Listen.
you hipster douchebag.
You hipster douchebags. What is it? Tell me. Listen, I'm just going to recommend 3 books to you, okay? The first one, Christopher Pike, Fear Street 1. The second, anything in the Animorphs series. Third, the first Divergent book. Don't read any of the other ones, just the first one.
The first
okay?
one's going to tell you what it's all about.
All about, baby. And what the first Divergent book is going to tell you is that they sat there with the Hunger Games open next to him and went, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that out, but I'm gonna add this. Yes. Matt, did you know that the Divergent film series never completed?
I did not know that.
Oh, interesting. Well, I can't wait to tell you about this. Yes. The first one was a big old hit. They were like,
Yes.
Shailene Woodley, she's a star. Second movie made less money. Third movie made even less money. And everyone went, this seems like a bad idea. How about we make the last one just on TV? And everybody went, I beg your fucking pardon? No. And everybody walked away and they never ended it. So literally, there's no resolution. Like, they just never made an end of the series. Amazing stuff. I have seen the first Divergent. Is bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's
but
bad.
Also, like, you know why it made money.
Oh, you know why it made money. Oh, listen, young people, young attractive people running around having their rights trampled, but also they might kiss. They might kiss.
Even if they do that, squeeze.
They might kiss. Yeah. So, right, Matt. Up next, we've got Fish Out of Water.
Yeah. Coming at you. Rat-a-tat-tat. Kids in hats. Walking down the street. Wake up. Go to work. Back 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 to work. Go to bed. Go to bed. Wake back up. Back to work. Back to work. Get back to work. You fucking sheeple. Get back to work. Wake up in the morning and my head is all gone. Wake up in the morning cause my head is all gone. I got no eyeballs. I got no eyeballs and I'm fucking tired. Get back to work. Get back to work. Get back to work. Get the fuck back to work. I'm so lonely. Nobody talks to me. I read Howard Finn. Listen, I don't give a shit what this song's about. I just drop bars on this song.
Wow, Matt.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. That's a Nas original, baby.
1 minute silence, X Nos.
Oh, incredible. Listen, I'm just going to talk about that song I just heard. That was hard as hell. Listen, if you drop that shit in 2006 rap Twitter, rap blogs, someone just says nails.
Nails.
That's what they say.
You drop that on the blogosphere in 2025, nobody will care.
No one will care. No. That was unbelievable, Matt.
Thank you.
And
I'm here for everybody.
yeah, I just say the fish out of water thing. I said, is he a fish out of water because he's being forced to conform and conformity equals death? I don't really know. Anyone who may have been listening or has heard the original will also say once again, what was that person talking about? How this is getting away from rap when the dude is literally spitting all over this song. Even Matt was spitting on top of his spitting. There's spitting happening.
So much spitting.
Matt, I have to say, in this case, you are the motherfucker who's spitting.
I was that motherfucker.
You
who was
were.
spitting.
You were. So yeah, and
Just winded after 20 seconds.
listen, that's all you need. We do have a song meanings comment from Naughty Brody Freak, March 7th, 2003 at 4:56 in the morning.
Been up.
That is one of the hardest bent ups I've seen in a while. Ooh, boy. I think this song is about being pressured through life by something or somebody else, being in situations you don't want to be. Ain't I what the whole world wants to be? Last of the great pretenders, my friend, like a fish out of water. This once again being pressured through life by something or somebody else. Something. I always love this entity. Something. Okay, that's fine.
Sure.
Be as vague as you want to be, Naughty Brody Freak. That's up
vague
to you.
as they want to be.
Vague as you want to be. All right, Matt. It's Roof of the World. Matt, this is basically the Irish version of Rage Against the Machine Wake Up with early Tooltown. And this song really made me realize that like early Tool and early Rage way more similar than I ever realized, especially when they just are mashing it all together.
It is strange. I will absolutely cop to that. I did not realize like how all his voice had to do was go down. Like Zach De La Rocha is always up.
Mm-hmm.
He's always up.
Always
Another bomb track. Always up. Maynard is up then down. Like it always is falling.
Mm-hmm.
His voice is always falling.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Over on songmeanings.com, we have a comment from Lens Flare posted on October 18th, 2002 at 12:38 a.m. They said, such a powerful song. A lot of people don't like the repetition, but I think it adds more impact to the already powerful lyrics. Matt, I believe you're some of those lot of people.
No, doesn't like the repetition.
Doesn't like the repetition. Now, commenter, I can't understand you on October 23rd, 2009 at, I believe this is 5:53 in the evening, says, Yap screaming out to us to stand up and protest / fight / whatever against all the killing happening in the world, mainly the conflicts between militaries or governments. We're making the same mistakes, same old story. We learned nothing from our legacy. He's also questioning God's existence. If he were to exist, why would he let this happen? Extremely powerful lyrics. I agree with Lens Flare also. I truly love a protest / fight / whatever.
You got to be ready for it all, Lauren.
You've got to be ready for it. All right.
20 more songs.
20 more songs. Next one's called 16 Stone Pig.
It's a 7-string guitar going to come here.
Oh, shit, Matt. Are we in Silent Hill?
We might be.
Uh-oh. Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head.
Nurses, no faces,
None.
broken necks.
Okay, Matt. So he's going to say this for a minute and a half before the riff drops.
You never know what life is going to throw at you.
I love that it never at any point did someone say, do we need to say this that many times? And he goes, you never know what life's going to throw at you. And he's like, touche, yeah. Touche.
That's a got him.
That is a strong got him. The riffing does come in at 150.
All right, 150. Here we go.
Based on a true story. Based true story. Never know what life is gonna throw at you. Grace of life is gonna throw at you. Keep it rated,
Try to top that. That's my problem, is that all of his raps sound like Top That.
Oh, no. You think like they all sound like Teen Witch? Oh,
Dude, listen to this. And then try to top that. Educated, overrated, overdated, suicided, and you try to top that. Top that.
You're right, man. It's a really good point. But you know what? Also, you never know what life's going to throw at you.
That is also true. So I guess when you're pointing to a finger, 3 are pointing back at you.
He's right. He's right. Now he is saying based on a true story, and I was like, based on a true story? Are we talking memoirs now? Are we leaving an analysis? Are we going into memoirs now? To which I'm going to recommend a bunch of memoirs right off. All right, number 1, Irma Bomback. I don't like my neck.
Classic.
Classic. Number 2, Tina Fey, Bossy Pants. You gotta have your bossy pants. And number 3, Michelle Obama's memoir.
Oh,
Yeah,
a great memoir.
Great memoir. Haven't read it. Great memoir. Right, Matt. You know that songmeanings.com showed up for 16 Stone Pig. Host JM on April 24th, 2002, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon said, not too sure what this is about, but the circle pits when they play it live are amazing. I got to tell you, the reason those circle pits are amazing is because they are circling for 2 minutes before it drops. They're furious. They're so ready to go. Kate's Bad Day, except every other word is capitalized. Every other letter is capitalized. On May 30th, 2002 at 12:59 a.m. Says, I'm not sure what it's about either, but 1 minute silence is the best. They need to get more airplay because they are great. More bands like them need to be heard. Let's get some underground rock bands some radio time. Love that. I love it when people are like, what is it going to take to get this band on the radio? Huh? And I got to say, this is one I wish they were on the Street Team. Street Team should have grabbed this one. Okay. This is a real one. Okay. They want to do the work. Jester Pfizer, July 13th, 2002, 1:44 a.m. They are responding to someone else about when they are going to see them live, to which they say, I reckon about September. 1 minute silent pits are the best, smiley face emoji. They're one of the only bands that I have to see if they're playing near me. Most bands I could say, I'll just wait till next time. But with 1 minute silence, it's a complete necessity. That's right. Food, water, shelter, 1 minute silence live.
Yep.
That's what they need, baby. It's a necessity. It's not a want. It's a need. I need to be in that 1 minute silence pit the same way I need this air to breathe, baby.
Fundamentals, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Food, water, shelter.
Yes.
1 minute silence, right?
That's it. That's it, baby. That's it. Finally, Maggot. This is a great catch here. This person got Maggot with no numbers, no underscores, just straight up Maggot.
Good for them.
Done. Good for them.
Early, been there.
Mm-hmm.
Beta release.
That's right. June 29th, 2003, 12:29 in the afternoon, said, I'm seeing them tonight. Great song. They better play some old stuff.
They better.
Listen, this song's great. The new album, I'm loving it. I'm loving these tracks. If they don't play any old stuff, I'm going to lose my mind. I'll be so mad. All right, up next, we've got 210 Dogs. Okay, all right. So he is yelling a bunch of facts about inequality and death around the world, and it is punctuated by them doing team yells of stop, madness, quit it. But you can't hear what's being said because he's decided to sing it through a Julian Casablancas filter.
Really? Yep.
Yeah. So what you're missing is 1.3 billion people live on the equivalent of less than $1 a day. Stop! The world spends $780 billion every year on weapons of war. Stop! 4.7 million children under the age of 5 die every year in South Asia. Stop! Quit it!
Okay, so
I agree.
Unequivocally.
Absolutely.
Do you think our sleepy boy, the sleepiest producer of all, Rick Rubin, heard this, filed it, and was like, hey, System of a Down, you want to talk about the American prison system? Boy, I got the filter just for you guys. Except I have a clarity of speech button that the other producer didn't have. So you can talk about all these American prison system facts loud and clear.
We're all going to know about them. We're all going to know about the prison system. Yeah, this one feels like Colin Richardson was like, I don't care about this. I'm just going to reptilia the shit out of this.
Exactly. And you know why? Because he's fucking British. Once again, holding Ireland back. These fucking fat cunts.
Whoa!
How dare they?
Whoa!
How fucking dare they?
Whoa!
Look, I love stirring shit in countries I know nothing about.
Well, Matt, here's the thing that's great. Not so you think, okay, this song has this part which feels a bit like a rant, right? There's a second rant. This song is multi-rants. Here's the rant that's at 2:30. 210 dog years, still alive, still here, no religion, no flag, no fear. Slip into fifth gear and move. Those who would disapprove can suck my dick. Say sorry, fuck I am. Those who wish to see me dead can die. The self-righteous step up, and I might just see you saved. Remember my face when you go to the grave. Fuck you, every last one of you, from the top down to the bottom, and that includes you, pig. I would have bumped that up. I like that a lot more.
Look, that one is super strong. That is super strong. Very pointed. Love it. Yeah, man. I don't understand the UK's troubles in the least. I am the dumbest of Americans, but if that's why, fucking eyes on you, man.
Yeah. So songmeanings.com showed up, and I won't read this guy's entire comment from Ryan Ward, but they said this song is a wake-up call. Parentheses, like most of 1 Minute Silence's songs. And the message is quite clear. Yeah, no shit, Ryan. Now,
there is no subtext.
Now, there was the question in here. Oh, he says, yeah, they referenced from the top down to the bottom. That includes you, pig. I may be wrong, but the reference to pig is talking about workers who choose to carry on serving tyrannical governments without being objective about it, choosing to ignore the harm governments do because they are paid to. Then host JM responded to that and said, no, pig is a nickname for the police, i.a. 16 Stone Pig. I say he found himself back in a pig cell. Or Pig Until Proven Cop, track 13 album, available in all colors. Then Jester Pfizer rolls in, July 13th, 2002, 1:42 a.m. Pig doesn't have to be a nickname for the police, although I do agree in this instance. And then finally, because it all comes back to the book club, baby, The 8, July 20th, 2002, 10:30 in the evening. I think pig is a general reference to authority. To see where I'm coming from, read Animal Farm by George Orwell. There you go.
One of the people on the list.
One of the people on the list.
Other memoirs on that list. You gotta want it, Jake Paul.
You gotta. That's why he named it that. If you don't, then you don't, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Do we have any other memoirs, Matt?
Well, of course I do. I mean, we've got Broken Horses, the Brandy Carlisle memoir.
Great memoir. Great memoir. And, this isn't a memoir, but it is a sort of a journey. The journey through the films of Steven Seagal.
Ooh.
Great book.
And, of course, The Dirt.
The Dirt! Listen, I opened The Dirt, and I was like, this is dirty. And I shut it. But I might open it again. You never know.
I might open up Crazy from the Heat by David Lee Roth. I mean,
that's one of the best books I've ever read. That is incredible. Incredible. If you don't have Crazy from the Heat by David Lee Roth in your personal collection, you need to make it happen, okay? And you can find it, okay? It's around eBay, Amazon, Half Price Books, Barnes and Noble. Tell them, I need one copy of the Roth, David Lee. And they'll say, oh, Crazy from the Heat, baby?
You about to get crazy from the heat.
You about to get very crazy. All right, Matt. Up next, we've got If I Can Change. All right, Matt. So he's gonna do this. He's gonna do this for a while. The drop
for real?
It doesn't happen
it's
until
only 43 seconds into the song.
Yeah, 120. But yeah, we have some Wes-esque tapping, strumming going on along with the droning effects. But most importantly, we have some new metal math. Right before the drop happens, where it says, if I can change one, I can change 2. If I can change 2, I can change 4. If I can change 4, I can change 8. If I can change 8, I can change
the world.
That's right. Listen, that's the
Did
new
I
metal.
fucking get that right?
Well, he just says I can change.
Oh,
Period. That's the thing. He can change. All this, a lot of numbers being thrown around, and I don't like because I'm like, is this people? I change 1. I was like, okay, that's some fine new metal
tires.
right.
It's
right. That's right.
If
you can
change
1,
16 tires, then I'm easily driving a semi truck.
That's right.
Or a lorry.
Yeah.
I believe is what they're called.
This song is super long. A lot of these songs are like 5 minutes long. This one is very long, though. The other lyric I wrote down is I wake up, take a shit, grab my shit, and leave. And then later on, he does sort of like another rhyme on top of that.
Do you think he's just using homophones? Or does he take a shit from the toilet?
That's how bad things are. He can't even get rid of his own shit in his own house. He has to take a shit, then he has to grab it and take it somewhere else to get rid of it because the plumbing's broke. Because the super doesn't care, man.
He writes that. He presents it to the lads. I take a shit, I grab my shit and leave. And nobody was like, hey man, do you grab? And he's like, no, of course not. They'll get it.
Well, then he has another line later that's like a mirror to this one. He says, I wake up, take no shit, talk some shit. That's me. And which, honestly, that sounds like a lost classic yearbook quote.
Ooh.
Put that one under your senior photo. Huh? I wake up, take no shit, talk some shit. That's me. Yeah. That's so Corey.
That's so Corey. That is so Raven.
Yeah. All right, Matt. There's only 14 more songs to go. The next one is called A Spoonful of Sugar.
God, I wish this was just a straight up cover.
Matt, I've only heard one song. That song is Bomb Track. Every song I write
is Bomb Track.
Is Bomb Track, baby. I got to be honest. When I was walking through a graveyard and this came on, I was like, this is kind of kicking. This is kind of kicking ass.
Fucking.
This was kind of kicking ass. This was pretty good. I didn't know it was called A Spoonful of Sugar at the time. I wasn't looking at song titles. But yeah, when he says, oh shit, and then he just starts spitting, listen, it could be Top That style. It could be whatever. You've got that bottom end there. I was in. This spoonful of sugar went down smooth for me. But Matt, I think you didn't like it.
This one, I liked the riffs much more. I liked the song. I think we are at a diminishing returns with the style. 14 of these it's a lot. I do think this is one of the better ones. I probably would have moved this up a little bit in the track list because I like the energy of it more than some of the other tracks. But yes, I mean, they have now done a majority of the tricks that they can do. And I don't need more of that.
All right, Matt, perfect time then to recommend some hard reads. Let's get some hard reads in. 1, Gravity's Rainbow. 2, Ulysses. 3, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. All right? We're talking numbers and colors at the same time. Can you handle it?
And then, of course, wrapping it all up, Infinite Jest.
That's it, baby. That's right.
Those are your hard reads.
Hard reads. All right, Matt. This next song's called On Deaf Ears.
Are you a red fish? Are you a blue fish? Are you a 1 fish? Are you a 2 fish?
Oh, shit. Something to think about.
For your ear holes.
Ear holes, but if it's falling on deaf ears, Matt, then no one's going to hear it. No one's going to hear it. Yeah, I wrote in my notes here, Tom Morello came home to just his toothbrush. There was nothing left. Everything was stolen. Yeah, this one.
Truly.
I honestly, if you've heard the other songs in this album, you know what is going on Deaf Ears.
Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, if you name a song called On Deaf Ears about this late in the album, it makes me, maybe it's a situation where you're like, is anyone really paying attention to this shit?
Maybe
I've been
we've
singing?
said too much.
Have we said too much? Honestly, I feel like if you're ever make an album and the song's called On Deaf Ears, someone should step in and go,
Nah, that's a B-side.
you know what? Leave that one for the fans. Let them look for that one as the maxi single. Second side.
So confused. Why are there 14 tracks on this album? And why do I have to ask you how long this album is?
Matt, there are 14 tracks in this album because it was April of 2000. And as you might have remembered, everything was great. The sun was out every day. It was a beautiful time. Abundance, the CD era. You could just keep throwing songs on a CD and no one cared.
No one cared.
No one cared. They'd say, this thing can hold 79 minutes, baby. You got a couple more? We got this one called On Deaf Ears. Put it on. I don't even know what it sounds like. We got the space. It was like everyone was like a cash-strapped realtor, and the space they were selling was on a CD. Like, we could fit it. Put some more songs on. To answer your question, Matt, this album clocks in at 57 minutes and 31 seconds.
Of course it does.
I can
Not
say that
surprised.
on all of my listens, I remember thinking when it started, oh, we're rocking. And by the end, I was like, this album's so fucking long.
This is a little too much.
This album's long. All right. A Day in the Light of. Gotta say that this was a situation where early on in the recordings, people were like, yeah, you go talk your shit. Get in the booth and talk your shit. And he's in there and he's, I got this to say, I got this to say, I got this to say. But then when you're doing 14 tracks in this album, which you do not need 14 tracks, and they were going, Yap would come in and someone go, why don't you get in there and talk your shit? And he's like, about what?
I've kind of said it all.
I gotta be like, come on, Yap, you know you got something else. And so I wrote down the lyric here. Life sure knows how to pack a punch. The Bundys, not the Brady Bunch next door. X-rated hardcore, step up, take the floor. Tell me what you see, mysterious ways, just don't do it for me. I don't know what this all means. It sounds to me like he's saying X-rated material, ruining the world, maybe, possibly. Then says, forget the Brady Bunch, now we're dealing with the Bundys. Okay, it's 2000. This is a triple axle dated reference here. Like, the Bundys, Married with Children, I'm pretty sure is also not in the air anymore. Like, what?
And also, okay, so it's like, hey, remember the Brady Bunch?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to your ass.
Now it's more like the Bundys. Which
now it's more like the Bundys, am I right?
Hey, everybody? Yeah. And then, honestly, when he says mysterious ways just doesn't do it for me at the end, I was like, is this like a weird, like incredibly late shot at Octung Baby? What are we talking about here? So
1987 to 1997. So it's already been off the air.
3 years. But you know what? Maybe, listen, I don't know what's going on with syndication in Ireland and the UK. You know, I don't even, listen, all I know about British TV is that you do 12 seasons and that's 4 episodes. Okay. That's all I know. All right. That's what I know about British TV. Oh, this is what else I know about British TV. That if you mention that you like one British TV show, someone will come out of the ceiling of wherever you are and go, have you watched Peep Show? It's the guy from Succession. And then what you have to do is you have to use what's ever close as a weapon, like a broom or whatever, and you got to beat him back and go, I'm not watching Peep Show. All right? You know? Or here's what happens, okay? We all know the bit from Nightmare on Elm Street when the claw comes out of the water when she's taking the bath, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now just imagine you're taking a bath and you're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, Jason Mantzoukas is on the newest season of Taskmaster. Maybe I'll watch this.
That's nice. I like this. And then they'll come out of the water and they'll go, have you seen the IT Crowd? Have you watched the IT Crowd? And you're like, no. Both. No and no. Yes.
Too much.
Yes. Songmeanings.com. Host JM. April 23rd, 2002. 9:41 in the evening. This song is about the singer who was brought up in a strict Christian background and is now an anarchist who thought that if God is up in the sky, surely if he climbs up a tree, he will be closer to him. But when he gets up there, there's only leaves, so he falls back down. The rest of the song is saying how Christianity or any form of religion is rubbish. Listen, some stuff you just got to leave on the floor, all right? You just got to say, That's it. All right. And listen, Ben Folds has a song called Not the Same about someone who does drugs at a party and climbs up a tree because they think they're finding religion. And I think that is a much better take on this idea. Play it a bit more, you know what? To stick with the British, I think, having a laugh.
Having a laugh.
Having a laugh. All right, Matt. Believe it or not, we're on the last song of the album.
Unbelievable.
And it could only be called Words.
Okay. I think we get it.
Yeah, Matt. This one takes its time. We got big Tool Town vibes. I like how he's fuck how it looks, fuck yesterday. I'm not saying forget. That's not what I'm saying. I like how I know what I just said. Don't misconstrue what I just said. I know what I just said isn't clear. That's not what I said. Listen, if that's what you feel like you have to say in the song about what you're trying to say, then maybe give it another pass. Give it another go. Or maybe this is just what we're saying about words. They can be twisted.
Oh, they can get twisted.
They can get twisted. They can get twisted. Speaking of twisted, author Clive Barker. Anyone?
Your pain is my pleasure. My pleasure is your pain.
Oh, yeah. And you know what, man? I did recently rewatch for the first time since high school Hellraiser. And I know this movie is considered something of a horror classic.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
it's not particularly good.
Listen, it's goopy and it's kind of silly, but I gotta say everybody in it, okay, and this is a blanket everybody, okay, is a stupid idiot.
Yes,
everyone's dumb. And you might be saying, Lauren, wait, are you saying Pinhead and the Cenobites are dumb? They are actually very dumb because they let Frankie escapes them. How?
Frankie escapes them, and they're like they misplaced keys.
Yes.
Like,
well, here's the other thing: is that then they show up when the dumb girl opens the box.
Also dumb.
Yes, and then they're like, "Well, we got some sights to show you." And she's, "What about my uncle?" And they're like, "Frankie?" And I fell out of my chair hearing the Cenobites go, "You know where he is? You found that guy?" I wanted them to turn to each other. I wanted Pinhead to look at the lady with her throat ripped open and go, "We fucking found him. We've been looking all over for him."
Okay.
And then
like kind of just like on the Cenobites. All right, everybody be cool.
Everybody be cool. We knew that. We knew he.
We knew you. We followed all your pain.
And I'm pretty sure. And listen, I might be misremembering this. I watched the movie a little bit tired, but I'm pretty sure she's, "What if we trade? I'll give you Frankie and you spare me." And I'm pretty sure Pinhead goes, "Maybe." I'm pretty sure he goes, "Maybe." And I was like, fucking credible. Listen, I received some DMs from people because I reviewed it on my Instagram, and I was like, it's kind of stupid. I had a good time. And they were like, "No, it's like a horror classic." I was like, you cannot stack this up against a Halloween, against The Thing, against fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Night of the Living Dead. It can't compare. It's goopy dumb, but I had a nice time. Also, Clive Barker, he's twisted.
He's a little twisted.
Little twisted. Also, the dude, how does that dude not know that his wife hates him? She has contempt from him from frame one.
From frame one, she's just like, "I suck a lot of guys' dicks behind your back."
Literally. And then he's, "What do you think of this terrible fucking house?" And she's, "I guess." And he's, "All right, cool."
Anyway, slide on the banister. How's my daughter doing? Opening a hell cube? Sounds great. See you guys later.
You know what? Honestly, you would think that when he is eventually stripped of all of his skin and left as just a bloody pulp on the floor, you would feel some level of like sadness or empathy for him, but he's stupid as hell. So it doesn't matter. Matt, believe it or not, that's the album.
That's the album. A little Hellraiser talk. That's the album. Let's do it.
But all right, Matt, it's time to talk about
canon talk.
Talking about the canon. Buy now, save later by 1 minute silence. Matt, we'll start with you. How many songs are we throwing in?
Let's see. How many songs are we throwing in? Maybe just this one.
I'm king, and they know it. When I snap my fingers, everybody says, "Sure, I'm hot, and you're not. But if you want to hang with me, I'll give it one shot. Top that."
Oh.
Yeah, so here's the deal. It is a charming record. I will say that. I was eventually kind of wooed by its overall charm and their relentless relentless desire to recreate Bomb Track 14 different ways. I will say that for the most part, it left me pretty cold, and I wasn't overly moved by it or think that it was a great, outstanding example of nu metal. There were moments that were better than others, but I think overall, this is a no for me, dog.
Matt, I have to agree with you. You know, this record, it brings the heat initially, but it is so derivative and ultimately becomes so samey so quickly
Yes.
that you after a while you're getting bludgeoned. And I think it is truly, honestly, it's truly the victim of having a fucking all-timer album cover.
Yeah.
Like the album that really goes with this album cover should be an all-timer. And so while I have nothing for the canon, I do believe that this album cover has
Junk
to
drawer.
go in the junk drawer.
1,000,000%.
100%.
Dude, that is, I don't even have to think about
A
that.
hottie made of dollar bills holding a Bible and a half-eaten apple?
Nu metal as fuck.
Absolutely. So while this album will not go in the nu metal canon, the album cover to 1 Minute Silence, By Now, Saved Later, 100% going in the nu metal junk drawer. I could see somebody having a poster of that on the wall and
Yes.
someone coming in going, oh, good band. And then be like, no.
No. Great
this-
album cover.
Great album cover. Incredible album cover. So there you have it. 1 Minute Silence. We listened to you again and have rendered a verdict. And that brings you to the end of another episode of Roach Coach.
Sure does.
Thank you so much for listening. Keep on saying hello to us online. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky. We're on all of those. Head on over to the Patreon, patreon.com/RoachCoachPodcast. The crack is coming. The Butt Rock bracket. It's going to be incredible. Send us an email, roachcoachpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what books you're reading. What's your reading list? Are you reading something twisted? Are you reading a memoir?
I hope so.
Or are you reading Animorphs? Whatever you're reading, let us know. And until next time, Matt, thank you.
Lauren, thank you.